assurance, see, the very loose definition of assurance is the auditing the ESG data, auditing the BRSR data. But there are the differences between the auditing process and assurance process. Okay. But here I will only discuss about the assurance provider. Who can be an assurance provider and who can do the assurance? Because in question number 14, if you see the BRSR report of any company, they have not only showing who is their assurance provider, but also they are also explaining, means also giving certificate of this insurance provider. So this assurance concept is coming from July 12, 2023 circular, which is the BRSR Core. So they are saying those who are covering the BRSR, they need to go to, they need to disclose the assurance. So here you will see that they are asking for first 23-24 this financial year, they are asking to do a reasonable assurance for BRSR Core. So under the assurance also there are the two kind of the assurance. One is a reasonable assurance and one is a limited assurance. A reasonable assurance, you can say that it's a very detailed kind of the verifying the processes, verifying the methodology, verifying the data, and verifying the report also, and saying and stating positively that everything is correct. But limited assurance is you are finding any fault and disclosing in terms of that we have not found any very significant difference or significant irregularities in the report. So that is called the limited assurance. And recently SEBI also proposed one assessment. They are saying instead of assurance, let's come out with the assessment. So for assessment, still there is no much guideline on what exactly in assurance the assessment under the person should be do. But let's stick to the what is already circular. So here in financial year 2024-25, they are asking that their value chain, those who are the provider of the material or supply of the material, means upstream and downstream value chain, those who are part of a 75% of the sales turnover or purchase turnover, so they should be covered under the value chain, that all the MSMEs or the provider companies will be covered into this value chain. They also need to disclose the BRSR KPIs, not all BRSR KPIs they need to disclose, and at the end of financial year 2024-25 they need to do assurance also. See, overall, those who are in this BRSR reporting area, so now they are focusing to become leader in, or they want to become a assurance company, because the year is 2024-25. The limited assurance report is for the value chain is also happening in 25-26. So small companies, there is a big gamut where they can provide the report, because it may happen, I'm not sure, but may happen that suppose you are not having a BRSR Core KPIs and not capturing the ESG data, and you are the MSMEs and small companies. So it may be difficult to do the business with the top 1000 listed companies because you don't have that parameters. So that's why the most of the supplier also become aware about this thing. Even a consultant, they are going and they are saying that why you are covering under this regulation and you need to disclose this thing. So what exactly, who can provide the assurance provider? Who can become an assurance? So this is a big question here. So as per the July 12, 2023 circular, they are saying the board of the listed entities ensure that insurance provider of BRSR Core has the necessary expertise for undertaking reasonable assurance. So now the question arises, what would be the necessary expertise? So there is one misconception that the person should or must be a CA, chartered accountant, or company secretary, or the cost accountant. But SEBI has not mentioned any person as exclusively they can provide the BRSR or they can become an insurance provider. Next thing is they are asking that the only thing that there should be no conflict of interest between insurance providers for doing the assuring the BRSR Core. So that conflict of interest we can discuss in detail. So which person cannot be a assurance provider and which person can be a, or entity can be a assurance provider. So first thing, this is a image which I have captured from the FAQs which has been released by SEBI. So first question is, does the assurance provider need to be a chartered accountant? So the question is not specifically assurance of BS for professional agnostic and need not necessarily be undertaken by the chartered accountant. Profession agnostic, means the person who are capable of doing many things, or capable of doing the financial or having a knowledge of the financial aspects also and non-financial aspects also. But it still is not defined what is profession agnostic means. But they are saying simple the knowledge of a thing they must know. Like an independent director, they think they should have some knowledge, basic knowledge about the accounting. Next is the board of listed shall ensure that assurance provider appointed for assurance business has the necessary expertise to undertake reasonable assurance in the area of sustainability. So they should have the necessary expertise. They are saying expertise, skills. Then are saying the experience. Okay, so on the basis of experience or on the basis of chartered accountant, non-chartered accountant, you cannot differentiate the people here in this area. Next is what activity services by assurance provider can lead to conflict of interest. So what exactly the conflict of interest which the July 12 circular we are discussing. So the conflict of interest means the entity which is doing the assurance work, they should not provide any service or any product or non-audit kind of the services to the listed entities. Okay, means that profit orientation should be not coming from that entity. So they should must have some independence and no conflict of interest in that. Next is what activity can be undertaken by assurance provider for the BRSR core. So activity they have name here, but this is not an exclusive or means this is not an exhaustive list. They are saying that they can do activity of auditing. So activity that are in the nature of audit assurance, such as providing third-party certification, tax audit, system audit, tax filing, etc., can be undertaken by the assurance provider of BRSR Core for the listed entity. If the listed entity determine that they do not pose any conflict of interest or compromise the independence of assurance provider, means this area mostly captured by the CA, because those who are already providing the statutory auditing kind of the services or system audit, tax filing, they can also provide BRSR assurance, BRSR core assurance, but subject to the no conflict of interest. So, but those who are providing a risk management, project management and consulting services, investment advisory services, investment banking services, design and implementation of information system, rendering of outsourced financial service, actuarial service, accounting and bookkeeping services cannot be undertaken by assurance provider of BRSR core for the listed entity for its group of entity. See, now another question is can the internal auditor of listed entity or its group of entity be appointed by assurance? No, because they have a conflict of interest with the company, so they cannot be appointed as the insurance provider for BRSR Core. Can the statutory auditor of listed entity be appointed as the insurance provider? Yes, the statutory auditor of listed entity can be appointed as the insurance. But see, because of this, many people become discouraged that see only the CA can capture this assurance area. But if you see overall trend which is happening in Europe and America, the 50-60% of the area is captured by the CAs, and the rest of the area is captured by the non-CA assurance of the sustainability reporting. I will come to it and share the data also. Which entity would be considered an associate of an assurance provider? So that I'm saying that who is associate? Means associate means related to the insurance provider, assurance provider. So the chartered accountant company is relative, or all it's cover under this associate definition. Which assurance standard should be followed? Another question means, okay, you are doing the assurance, you have all the eligibility to doing assurance, but under which standard? So circular does not mandate or recommend the use of any specific assurance standard. ICAI come out with the standard assurance engagement, and very quickly I appreciate their activeness in this area, and that's why they are continuously doing a capacity building of their member relating to the BRSR reporting, related to the integrated reporting, related to the assurance provider, because they have come out with the standards. But it's not a mandated standard, it's a voluntary kind of the standard. You can follow it, or the international standards also you can follow it, means auditing standards. Those who are the auditing space, they can understand that standard as well. Next is, see, in this gamut question number 14, let's discuss the last one, the type of assurance. So I was discussing at the beginning, there are two kind of the assurance. One is the one is related to the reasonable assurance, another is the limited assurance, which I have discussed. So that you need to mention in question number 14, insurance provider name and which kind of the assurance you are doing, that also you need to mention in your BRSR report. Now, hope you have understood this boundaries of reporting and assurance provider. These two aspects I have discussed in detail. Now, my question to you, let's discuss something. Why assurance is needed for the sustainability report? So, I would like to listen from you. Why assurance is needed for sustainability report? Why SEBI is emphasizing on assurance of ESG report? Why it is necessary?
To avoid greenwashing and to bring in credibility for the reported data.
Now, who is speaking this?
Yeah, these are Anil.
Anil. Yeah, very
Yes.
exactly. Mr. Anil has said about that. It's about the greenwashing, to avoid the greenwashing. Okay. So, recently, if you are seeing the greenwashing cases, which is increasing, those who are voluntarily disclosing their reports. One of the famous case of the Volkswagen. So Volkswagen did one greenwashing scandal. So they have mentioned that their cars are very much not impacting much the environment and their emission is less. And what they did, they have implemented one software while testing that car, so that software automatically decrease the emission to deviating the testing, means transparent testing. When this disclosed in the public, so it was a big backlash against the Volkswagen, and their share decline, their CEO need to resign, the sales number decline, lots of mishap happens against the Volkswagen, and so many cases internationally happen also. So what the assurance is providing, so it is building a trust with the stakeholder, it is giving a better transparency, it is increasing the value, and it is also addressing a regulatory compliance. This is a must. But the increasing value, better transparency, avoiding a greenwashing, this is the aspects of this assurance which is providing. And see, one question which I was discussing means whether this area is totally captured by the CA. So this So which companies are under the assurance? So here you are seeing that one International Financial Accounting Committee or Council of USA, they did this survey of 1400 largest company on their reports, and they're saying how many reports are saying that they have done the assurance. Um, so here you will find that just some level, rather assurance, reasonable assurance, limited assurance. Only 51% companies did the assurance, and more reasonable kind of the assurance also some company has given. But only half of the company are doing the assurance process, the auditing. But I think after joining the BRSR assurance, this number will increase. This we have discussed already, assurance. So various regulation across the world, they are discussing the assurance, and they are doing a compulsion here. But only one thing very strangely happened in India. In Europe, US, Singapore, United Kingdom, global means United Kingdom, all this area except India, they have started with a limited assurance, means from a small step they have started. In our regulation, we have asked about the reasonable assurance. A big picture we have asked. Means a more responsible thing or more a detailed thing we have asked the company should have to do. So that's the thing. But the another argument against this is that we are not asking for the 1000 company. Phase-wise, SEBI is asking for the 150 company, then 250 company, then increasing towards the 1000 company somewhere in 2028-29. So this is one of the argument here. This type of a firm providing assurance. So here you will see the those who are the audit firm which is providing assurance, they are the 58%, and those who are the affiliated firms which are affiliated means that assurance provider council, because this is a presentation I have captured from their website. So here you will see that only 5%. But other service providers among the 704 assurance providers, 37. And one of the discussion is also a regulatory side is that the capacity building of assurance is very less. So we need to do lots of people should provide the assurance services and reporting services. So the compliance cost should be reduced in this area. So with this, I will stop here. And if you have any question, you can ask me.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate the session and the insight. It's very practical.